I think it's a really good course if you want to get involved in journalism. It's got a lot of practical elements which are useful because you get to, learn how to be a journalist. It's very hands-on. There's also, the theory-based modules which teach you a lot about the history of journalism and practical things like ethics and regulation, but it is really good and you can go from the course straight into the workplace.
And I think especially in your third year when you're doing your news days and things, you get a hand at everything, particularly in broadcast. You can produce, direct, present, so anything that you want to do, you'll get a go at doing it. One of the main things we did in third year was our news day. I was presenter, Caroline was producer, and I think that really went well because we're such good friends. I think the instructions I got off Caroline really helped me present, and my presenting helped Caroline. And everyone got on really well as a team. We all pulled together and we created such a brilliant programme. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there was actually 26 of us that all worked together, so at times it was quite testing, to say the least. But everyone in the end project really pulled together. It was a great news day. I believe Deborah said it was one of the best she's ever seen, which is our tutor, so she was really pleased with it. I put a lot of time into producing the programme. I was really, really passionate about it. I worked closely with the presenters and all the members of the team to make sure that we had a great end product. Basically, it was a 15-minute news programme. We had the choice between 10 and 15 minutes. We went for 15 because we had a large team. And it's based on North West Tonight or Granada Reports. So basically, it's a regional news programme which combines both hard, soft news stories, sport and also weather. So it's really great, and we tried to bounce around the region as much as we can. So we had stories from Liverpool, Manchester, everywhere across the region, and it was just a huge success in the end.
I did 2 weeks at BBC Radio Lancashire, so I went out, vox popped, I went on outside broadcasts with some of the team, I brought my own news scripts and I suggested story ideas, and I also did a week's work experience at Preston North End Football Club. I got to interview the players, go to press conferences, so I really got a hand of what reporting was like.
I actually spent a week at Granada Television in Manchester in the news department. It was really good. It was quite an observational placement, but I got to go out with journalists on both live and pre-recorded shoots. I learnt a lot about TV journalism, and I learnt a lot of tips for when I came to do the news days in my third year. I also spent 2 weeks at Heart Radio in Wrexham at their news centre, which is part of Global Radio. I had a really good 2 weeks there. I did a lot of hands-on things, literally went out reporting, and that has enabled me to get a job as a freelance broadcast journalist there, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I started that job in April. On my first day, I was given the task of interviewing David Cameron, which was just, it was scary, but it was great. I just went in there and asked the questions, and it was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And since that, I've done lots of things for them. I've attended Chester Rocks as their reporter, which is a festival, or like lots of pop acts. I've actually covered the Olympic torch through the whole of North Wales for them, so I spent a lot of time running up the road after it, literally. So it's really great fun, and every day is different, and that's why I love my job.
And currently I went to a BBC meet and greet not too long ago, where I got the opportunity to go to Media City, and off the back of that I have now got a contract with the BBC as an Olympic logger for the Olympics, and so hopefully the casual contract I have will give me more experience and maybe something more with the BBC in the future.
If I was given a 17-year-old some advice on how to get into journalism in today's competitive job market, I'd say get as much work experience as you can, even before university. I did a placement at Radio City in Liverpool, and I even learned, even though I only went out box popping, I learnt a lot then, and I think it's really important that you get yourself known, and I think UCLan is a great place to come if you want to be a journalist, because it's such a practical course and it really gives you hands-on experience.
I'd say maybe set up your own blog as well. Like, it's always good to set up a blog and get yourself known, get something passionate that you're about. If you like fashion journalism or business journalism, get that set up and get that foundation that you can work on and build on. I did work experience as well. I did 4 weeks at Lancashire Evening Post, just doing simple jobs, just getting used to the industry and making sure that it's definitely what you want, because if you want to go in this industry, it is competitive and you really need to be passionate about it.